Last week, hosting. Oh yeah, we fixed the Azure accesses. That on the deck. Then today, so 2025. Do we have demos? We don't have
Do you
demos.
want?
No,
Do you want
I
an
don't want
update?
demos. Where are topics? Updates.
I also have a topic.
I do.
Okay, thank this.
Sorry, Sebastian, I could do an update on the asset management app.
Management app. What is that?
What is pet project?
I don't know. What is asset management app?
Asset management tool.
A pet project is like something you like to do in your personal time. Like I did SQL, for instance, was a pet project. Example.
I see.
Okay. Let's start with Victoria. Good news or bad news?
Okay, thank you. So I'm back after a long time because
long time, like last month.
No.
Yeah.
It's been a few months since I attended this meeting. I know that you really miss me, but I'm here to talk about the harvest again because we would like to organize it this year as well. And this year it will be in Europe, and we have a survey that you can fill out for 2 days because it's been up, and I think for almost a month now. And I shared the survey in the chat.
Yeah, I already wrote the results of the survey.
We have already some results, but we can share it at the end of this week.
Like, oh, so no, I meant we already have the results, right? This is there.
Yeah, we already have some results. I just meant that if someone still wants to fill out, they can do it for two days.
Okay, so we understand you are not looking at your screen. That's okay. So you see that's okay. So this is the form.
So that's your ideal date and place?
Yeah, and that's the decision. We said, let's ask Sebastian what he wants and let's do it this year.
Oh, I understand.
So everyone checks there and nobody checks there, but you have to pick one of those 2 months. But you can put something else in the comments saying, no, we agree with Sebastian. Like, if you have any additional comment, yes, please do it in June. Okay, so you can do that.
You will be in Europe in June?
Well, if there is the orchard, yes.
Oh, then you can come in September as well.
Yeah, too busy. I have plans. We'll see.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the URL. I will share it in notes.
Yes.
So, but we didn't share this URL before in the meeting, no? Did we?
Sorry?
This URL, I don't remember it was shared during one of these meetings.
No, not yet, but I shared it on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. So, and
Okay,
also
so that,
GitHub.
yeah.
And,
Okay, I saw it on GitHub because you pointed it to me, but I don't look any of the other locations, places you mentioned, so that's why I didn't remember we shared this. Okay, so now it's there. So if you see this recording, just read every single char and copy it in your thing. Otherwise, you can go on the GitHub.
Are we really
repository.
looking at June?
Yeah, that's what
Am I
Vitra
reading
said.
Oh. Okay.
yeah, Sebastian wants it to be in June, but we proposed September or October, like
You
last
see,
year.
you see what a democracy it is. You have the choice between 2 months, September or October. Okay. So like, yeah. And what if you wanted to do it like not in Europe? What if you had like 1,000 people saying, I want to go in the States, in Las Vegas again, and not go to either of these places? There should be an other option, but that's okay because there is this here. Like, okay. So that's what everyone will want to write. Yeah. I don't know, like I just made up these dates. Don't worry. Removed. From here. Or GitHub, the link is on
I hope
GitHub
nobody
also.
is confused now.
And I have access. I don't know how I did last time, but maybe this is here. Yeah, you granted me access. I don't see the button anymore, but you granted me access to the results, so I could see the intermediate results. I don't say anything. It's a surprise. Well, it's just a poll. So even if people say blah 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 blah, I want to go in whatever Austria, you can say nope. Even if everybody said that, we will go there. So it's just to have an idea of what people want.
Yes.
Cool.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. What else do we have? So last time we talked about asset management too. This was the name of the first .NET app ever I built. In summer 2000, I think. 2001 would be probably not 2000, summer 2000 when it was beta 1 of ASP.NET. And what did we say? Status. Not for the one. We have so 28. Okay, so we have this thing that was merged from an area. We saw that last Thursday need embed video import to dedicated service. Just to not pollute with the existing implementation of the embed controller. So now people can override the existing service if they want to handle specific use cases. So one 10x, and then option call. Where is option call? I will remove some stuff. Is James here today? James, he's here.
Yeah,
James
I'm
is
here.
all the time here. What's happening? Not too much,
Just hanging
James,
out.
but okay, so 28. We have this one. So we have two branches again. What the fuck? Hey, 1152. Okay, we'll see that later. Reorganize the admin menu was merged. Enjoy. I used it. I got lost, but I found it. In the end, I like, okay, must be in tools. And I found something in tools, and then must be in design. And I found something in design. Also, James told me where it was, so I knew where it was. Update predicate query string serialization. George is fixing GraphQL. I see George is not here. And oh yeah, yes, not just GraphQL. I think there was a change in the generated SQL, or maybe that's related. And there were tests. Yes, yeah, that's related. You see, that's how the SQL is generated. So it's checking how it is generated. Okay, cool. Update PredicateQuery string serialization. Issues with fields and parts in GraphQL, expose content part in GraphQL to the retrieving the parent content item, more improvements. We saw these ones during triage last week. Improvement on contain items. So for list, you can access the list now from list items. Interesting. Retrieve the parent content item using the list part. You can also access the parent list content item. So if you find a blog post, you can find back the blog. So interesting. Ooh, it's great. When we merge, we should change these titles to explain what it's fixing. So it's fixing recaptcha somehow.
What it is that, see recaptcha, it's using the helper here. And the helper is using the shape to create it. So it's like calling itself in a way.
That was the okay, I remember that we mentioned infinitely. That, which fixes that. Remove list icons from the new menu. Typo. So sad. So what's the difference between the first string and the second string? Mike, you must know because
the first one is the visible and the other one is used to generate the prefix. Like the position of that on the item. The position of the item on the menu.
And why does this uppercase matter for the position?
No, they should be identical. So in this case, I don't know. Well, in this case, there's one on the left and one on the right that are different. So they should be identical. Because we position them in alphabetical order.
Okay. Fixes some race conditions in the search module. Okay, first step, concurrent dictionary. So 17 for 30. Here, so test failed. Cool. Imaging failed. So race condition and the changes. I will close this one because keep going back there. Permissions, try get value. So what is, oh, that's a static, visualize, static, get permission. Return, get, or add new permission. Get permission, index name. Why? I almost think I understand, but at the same time, I think if I understand what I see, then I don't understand why. So if not permissions to try get value index name, then let's create a permission. By formatting the PC. Okay, I get it.
It's a helper that's being called probably from two different threads at the same time.
Yeah, so no, I was wondering why we are caching these things. So this is because it's just a template and this is a dynamic permission per index. So we want to reuse the same permission object. Every time. Okay. And the add was wrong. Yeah. Click. That's interesting. So, oh, and probably, okay, we have the same pattern in multiple places. Yeah, it makes sense. I'm surprised we don't have that in some other places, but that's just like permissions for indexes, maybe for other things that will do the same, like a static permission like this. See, private static will be new. So, you know, it was new. That's not what I wanted to see, actually. Like to have something like this. Nope. And we have something like this, just to be sure I'm looking correctly. Yes. Okay. You see, we have, well, no permissions. Just these three. That's surprising. Maybe maybe it's possible that we don't care about caching these in other places. This is your new thing that is actually caching them.
I think we cache in some other places. I think the content have dynamic permissions, and I think we follow the same pattern. I just don't know if we have concurrency.
So that's why I was wondering, because I know this is one of the first thing that is using permissions, a content item. So where will be an example?
Let me see. Permission.
Content permissions.
Content permission for sure has it. I just don't know the class name.
Content type permissions. No. Yeah, maybe.
It would be content helper. Yeah, you see that create dynamic right there. Go into that.
Yeah, but
create
this
dynamic
one,
permission.
I'm sure there is no cache because this is to create a new one and then.
Yeah, but check, it might be cached. Check, click that method. What does it do?
I just want to see what is this thing doing, what is he implementing. So here, this is a helper. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. So this helper is used somewhere. I just want to see this helper also, see what it's used. this is used in handler and permissions class. Okay. Manage. You see indexes. This is a generic one. This is a template, and then get missing index permission is used here. Okay, to check if we have the permission here. In the get permission, that's it. Okay, so this one, I see. This one is in the I permission provider. When we say get permissions, for each index, we retrieve the thing here and we cache it. So it's created automatically on startup. Okay. And then it's cached. And the content one, is not caching anything. When we say create, it's creating. There is no cache. That's what I thought. Just have the templates and we don't cache the instances. And it's invoked. Here. And yeah, this one has no caching at all. It could, I don't know how much we get from that, less allocations for sure. But yeah, that explains why it's just there. We don't do that for the content management. Cool. Use title case. Oh, that's been fixed. You fixed it. Order widget list by display name. Order widget list by display name to provide an order when we list available widgets to create. We will do that quick. Fixing the surrounding content items in your flow when using halted workflow, because now we don't use the object anymore. It's iDictionary. So George fixed it. And probably that thing is also implementing iDictionary. If try get value type, the type, and type as string content, string comparison ordinal. Okay, maybe this one is actually not string comparison ordinal. Set email auto encryption by default. So this is a view model just to ensure that when we go to this screen, this is checked by default. It's a suggestion. It won't change existing saved elements if you want to be setting in value paths, but for the new size, it will check it by default. Oh, remove future improvement section on the forms module documentation. Maybe it's done. Is it because it's done or to see that it won't be done? It won't be done. Oh, I think I remember this one. Some JavaScript that will never work. Yeah, it was all done in JavaScript client-side validation, so like it's state validation. Even mentioned that during a meeting. Beautiful. Okay, so it will not work. Okay, cool. Future improvement. I mean, yeah, it's good to put plans in the doc, but you could also like we could create IVs for improvement. So I could do that. Fix errors and filtering by content fields in GraphQL. More fixes. So this one really goes. So during triage, improvement on GraphQL, all the GraphQL issues are being closed. Not even sure George is using GraphQL, but he's having fun fixing all these things. He said, I think himself, it was kind of a hack to fix that. But he said to fix it correctly to me, write a lot of things. Because the way it's organized today was not supporting everything easily. Reset the feature search result when click on X button. Reset the feature search result when clicks on X. What is the X button? Oh, there is an X button. Clear X. Okay. Yeah, there was an issue related, I think we mentioned that a few weeks ago. But yeah, but it was not reset correctly. Search with the no result remain after a successful search. I mean, like, okay. Okay, but it's not fixing the issue that was supposed. It's still better, maybe. Yeah, it's a different thing. But move permissions to its own class to avoid module to module reference. Good. Module to module reference. Which ones? Ooh, that's a lot of changes. You don't see my face, but I had my hands on my face because I'm afraid of what it is. If it is what I think it is. Okay, so GraphQL, common permissions in abstractions, public common permissions.
So this PR kind of fixed few issues. One of the issues, like for this, the common permissions, the name, this is used like it's 5 or 6 times in the project. So if you're writing code, sometimes you're like, where is it coming from? So it's kind of hard to read common permission. So he created a new naming convention where the naming is more explicit. Like for admin permissions, it's called admin permissions. For media permission, it would be media permissions, and so on and so forth. That's one thing. The other thing is that we removed all the permission instances from the permission provider, which belong in the module class, where the permission could be part of the core project if a core project exists. This way, we don't have to reference the module itself. We can reference just the core project if we want to check permissions. And then anything that wasn't obsolete, he usually removed it, and I told him just delete it. So this way, whoever is writing code, they have a path to 3.0 without having breaking changes. Well, we have breaking changes, but at least they have a way with warnings to use the new properties instead.
Where are these permissions in infrastructure abstractions? I don't find them here. This one? I don't find anything under the infrastructure.
So if we change the names, will it not break?
Oh, yes, everything is broken.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
once it works, if you use one of these, yes.
if you were starting from scratch, but if you had
it
like
won't break
common
you.
permissions,
It won't
if
break you. It will give you a warning so you know where to go from where to go.
Okay.
But don't we need a migration then?
No, we can't do migrations.
No.
Can't.
No, the migration. So the name matters. So the string here matters. Wherever it is, it can only be field breaking, source breaking. Yeah. But if I take one that moved, so these ones that been moved just like this. So this is the same thing here. But yeah, it moved there, but you see it says obsolete. Tells you if you are using command permissions dot execute GraphQL mutations. Now it will show you that no, don't use that. Use GraphQL permissions dot execute GraphQL mutations instead. So here I see in multiple CS projects it preferences Orchard core infrastructure abstraction CS project.
Guessing that's because that's where the permission class resides.
Which class?
You know, the permission class, which
But
is
why?
well, because he creates a new instance of the permission, static permission.
Static permission. Where? Something like this. Oh,
Yes,
you mean
exactly.
okay?
That
You mean
permission itself.
I see. But before we were using that, so I mean,
Yeah, but it was in a different project. It was in the module project, not the core project.
wasn't the module project. Yeah, I don't understand. Before this class here, which is from this namespace, Orchard core security permissions.
Yeah, but before the instance, creating an instance was in a different project. So now you have to add the dependency, so you have access to that permission class. At least that's my only explanation of why he added that. I don't know for sure.
I will take one here, but I saw that had no other change. I will take, where is the OpenID? So OpenID. I see OpenID here. Okay, there is a change here. Orchard core OpenID core. Orchard core the OpenID core. So this project here now has a, okay, so sorry. This one has a new OpenID permissions. Okay, in the core project. OpenID permissions. And then, so this reference is because this permissions class here is in these abstractions. I will say that. Okay. So if I take another one, it should be the same pattern. Yes, purge. If I take localization core, does it keep my selection? Yes, beautiful. That it's because here Crane there is a new also. Okay, that explains why we have the new purge. Okay. And okay. My only concern now then is that this is to prevent module-to-module references, even though I don't see any change anywhere That is removing a module to module reference.
Oh, it's not. It's not really module to module. But if let's say we want to use it in our project outside of Orchard,
yeah,
then we would have to depend on a module
Mhm.
where you might not need to. You can just depend on the core project and not have to depend on the module. So that's the only advantage.
okay. Next, don't throw exception when casing stage as quick evaluator. Lookout. Try bit flat, try catch and looking the error because it is very important. This code generated for you by Copilot. You don't know that, Mike, but I'm telling you. Remove obsolete drivers methods. Yes, I remember this big change. With all the drivers, the methods. It was a long negotiation. Back and forth. Fix shape differentiators link. Okay. Remove unnecessary return. Remove unnecessary return. That's true. It is unnecessary. This, yeah, probably we shall mode the full class already, but this is necessary until it is necessary. Because maybe the logic is that if you go there, you should return. Okay. Maybe one day we'll add another if to do something and then we'll forget that. Oh crap. Return here. We didn't return here, so it will evaluate this thing, but we are supposed to return. It happens that we return after, but maybe one day we won't return after. And this one won't return. Be careful with these ones. Sometimes it's better to just keep it because it's semantically more correct than just using the return from there. Meaning once we are there, there is nothing we should do after, so let's return. But maybe the one we will add some code next time will not realize that we should have return. Configure, this is I configure options. Okay. Fix OpenID connect RP initiated logout translation. I have no idea what it means. Let's see the change. Oh, it's just text. Oh, translation. Okay.
The problem is that it's missing the /a closing, but I have no idea what does OpenID connect PR-initiated logout 1.0 means.
Right, that's because it's not PR dash, because it's RP dash. That's why you don't understand.
Well, yes. Even with that, I still don't understand it.
Okay.
I actually commented. I'm like,
that's an option
we see this.
in the OpenID, obviously. Post logout redirect URI. For more information about post logout redirect URI. Yeah, I mean, RP initiated must be, RP must mean something. So what does RP like? User or automated? It's just RP. RP. So there is client registry.
Yeah, but it should be the title of that, which is the 3.0, whatever they said.
What does RP mean? Can we ask Copilot what does RP mean? RP initiative terminology.
If you don't understand it, nobody else will.
Dude, a lot of things that I don't understand that people do, and I'm glad we will be screwed. An RP requests that the OP logout. Oh boy. Do I have is there Copilot in Edge somewhere? Where is Copilot when you want it? James, you're saying something. I have no idea what you say. OpenID, RP, OP. It will tell me here. OpenID Connect. Okay. You see, it's easy. OP means OpenID Connect Provider. OP, the P for provider. Okay, so provider. The following, the RP sends the request to the OP. Maybe the requesting provider. Oh, relying parties or RP. OpenID is a protocol that allows web applications relying parties, okay, like the client of the client application of the OpenID server. Okay. RP means relying parties. OP means OpenID Connect Provider. Now you know. Really, let's task Copilot. Release 2.15. Just because it's been a week, so why not? So what was merged into this thing? Fixed null exception with filters. James, you broke something?
No. What happened here is that if you enable any of these features, and by default you'll get an exception unless you have an ID.
It's funny. We had the same bug with James when we refactored the code and we fixed it in, right, James? We ran it to debug and we had so we had to add something like this also. We had the same issue when we tried to enable the thing. But we didn't realize it was broken in the main graph. So it's very cool. Yeah, okay, good job. Thanks, Mike. There is new version update.
We'll just you'll need the merge.
Oh, you want me to
release
merge?
it? Yeah, merge it back to main.
So what is this one? Oh, you forgot to change this one.
Yeah.
But if you forgot to change this one, oh, that doesn't matter because during the process we actually force the version of a package, which means probably we don't need that. Just saying.
Yeah, we don't need that. It's
to
needed if you want to create a preview. Part of
Okay.
the issue that we release a preview and we test it out. So this will kind of generate a new preview with 2.1 or 2.1.5.
Okay. So what I do is check on main. This is taking some time. It's interesting. And then say merge into main. Conflicts. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no, that's expected. So this one. We need to take the 3.0. Okay. But we are working on main. We also need to take the 3.0 because we are working on main. And this one, it's interesting that there is changes there. Oh, because you updated the release notes. I'm confused.
I think because James changed the indentation for the docs here. I think
just in main, so it would be a conflict if there was a change on the release.
Well, there is. We added a new line. We added a
so
new
tell me which
reference to
line.
the release. It should
This
be
one.
the release.
That's
Yeah,
the
right
only
there.
thing that changes. So I will take select right, and then I will update there like this.
Yeah.
I like to show people so this way there is a recording in page one, and people understand what's happening and like learn from that. So this is a new talk that James did in main. And yes, I don't know why everything here is still encrypting. Maybe we'll have the conflicts every time in this branch. So done, merge tag, and I say merge release 3.1.5. Okay. And then just to explain what this command is, to apply all the changes from the release branch back to main. Meet here main, and I will push main. Oh, hopefully no PR was merged in the meantime. Perfect. And then that's not what we want. We want Plasma. Said you wanted to tell us about asset management too.
Sure.
The return.
The return of the asset management, which has been really outdated in our core since a while. So still working on that. So last week, since we talked last time, and we said that we wanted to have non-opinionated build tool, and it was only using parcels, so I had a Vite and Webpack. So now Vite and Webpack works too.
Is it what I said? Or did I say maybe it should be an implementation detail that it's using parcel?
Yeah, you wanted to have something like TypeScript as an action.
Oh yes, that. But the fact it's
yeah.
implemented using parcel or whatever, I don't care. It's just okay. But let's
Yeah.
see what you have.
So the idea is that parcel or Vite or Webpack, if you pass a .ts file, they will all compile to something, but they also will compile .mgs, .gs. So there's no limitation for them about that. So kind of backward to say, here I want an action that does TypeScript, and then.
So if I have a question that is, can the new asset build tool compile TypeScript? Do you say yes or no?
It compiles TypeScript if you're
Cool.
passing it to parcel, Vite, or Webpack,
Well,
so there's no issue there. It's just that it compiles. Yeah.
Okay, now you're mentioning 3 different tools. Now, as a user of Orchard, as a developer of Orchard, I want to compile TypeScript. What do I type? TypeScript?
Well, they allow compiling TypeScript, so this is what we are using now for compiling TypeScript.
So show me the workflow folder with the assets, because I know there is TypeScript there, because it could just write TypeScript.
So I used Parcel for that one, but I could have used
you see?
any other one. Yeah.
You use Parcel, and that's what I meant, and that's why I wanted to ask this specific question. In my mind, we just say action TypeScript, and then it's an implementation detail that it's using Parcel, that is using Vite, that is using Webpack, that it's using whatever tool I'll do tomorrow. But as a user, I say the action type is TypeScript, like build TypeScript, okay? Or minify, or like you did, you see the min here, the minify internally is using, I don't know, Parcel, whatever, I don't care. The SAS thing, I don't know what it's using. It's using the best tool that we decided at that point to minify.
Right.
That's okay to expose the implementation details, like, okay, I want to explicitly call the parcel action, but for TypeScript, for instance, as a dumb user I would just say action TypeScript, and you decided, you Jasmine, because you are the best for that, to tell me to use Parcel or Webpack. I like the fact that users can. I like the fact that users can select what they want, but I would love to be able to not have to think about what I want, because I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, since I developed this and I know the differences between each of them, you kind of need to know the differences between each of these bundlers to decide what you want to do. But of course, we could have
The dump. I want the
a
dump
dumb,
thing.
yeah, dumb one.
TypeScript. Yeah, TypeScript. Okay, cool. So today you say it's parcel, and parcel we know what to do with the JS file, the TS file, sorry, and then
Yeah.
it generates the JS file that you put in name. That's great. Okay,
You
cool.
use a TSX files too because of React.
Okay.
So there is no issue there. Parcel will handle that. Vit too, and also Webpack. So what I did there is, well, the difference between Parcel, Vit, and Webpack is that Parcel doesn't require a configuration file in your folder where you have your assets. So here, just the package.json file. Scripts are there. You don't need any configuration. It's a one configuration for all, for Parcel. It's always the same configuration, but the differentiation here for Vite or Webpack, we have, for example, for the GraphQL folder, I think it's API.GraphQL. We had already something here, and Webpack requires a webpack.config.js file to work. So what I did is that our asset build tool now will load this webpack.config file, and I've added like path.results that are dynamic and relative to this folder, so that it knows, because before it was just like a string like that here,
Okay.
which was bad because it needed to resolve a path from this file here. So making this dynamic, now I can load these webpack.config files from the asset build tool, and then for each of these folder, I can define what I want to do. So basically for the GraphQL folder here, in my assets.json file, I'm just defining which config file I want to use for this here. So I'm saying for Webpack, the name of my asset is GraphQL, and here is my config file. Load that config file, and that config file will just execute everything that I require here, which is use that entry, which is a TSX file. Output that to a GraphQL in the W folder, script folder, which is added here. It creates that GraphQL orchard.js file here. Well, we had that before, but we needed to kind of execute that directly in that folder. So we needed to open up a terminal and do npm install and then npm build from that folder, which was not part of the pipeline, of the build pipeline. So we needed to kind of create these assets.
If I look at the main branch, yes, I confirm that there is no assets.json in the GraphQL module right now. Yeah. From what I see, that we copied all the built assets
directly in the script folder here. Yeah.
Actually, we have an app.tsx right now. We don't have anything. We have an app.tsx, but if I go to the views, that's where they are put.
Yeah, we have two of them. We have one here for this one, this app.tsx file. Always add that here. And we have one that I found out yesterday, which is in the audit trail folder for the div viewer. And I did the same here for the Webpack. So we have two modules that uses Webpack, and I use the same thing here, which is adding an asset.json. Added this action here, which will create the audit trail div viewer.
Okay, cool. So now we build them. We don't have to copy the assets. We will build them.
Yeah, and this is what should be doing, I think, because we need to be able to repro these builds. And
to update it more easily. So when we just want to update these libraries, we can just copy the TSX file and then we will build it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, one part here that is really nice is that we can also use now things, but well, we could do that, but one nice part here is that
things I see. So one thing I see now is because we are explicitly handling Webpack, for instance,
yeah,
we can depend on external projects that require Webpack to build their assets pipeline, and we can integrate the same asset pipeline directly. So we don't have to rely on them to build the thing and copy the built assets. We can just go into the source and we will build that. We will support Webpack based external libraries or Parcel or Vite. Okay.
Yeah. And the goal is to always be able to customize these.
That's good.
Sometimes we just copy them here and we do some small modifications and then we compile them and then put them in the root folder, and we never compile it back ever again, which is bad because we never know if something will fail from building or if we have deprecated packages that could have security issues or things like that. So we need to be able to rebuild these and know what is happening with them on the CI. And of course, the other part after that is that I really like Vite because it's really focused on view development. Webpack as an host, you can do something like Webpack host or something like that. I haven't implemented that part with Webpack, but we could do it too. So basically we have yarn build -n your package name, that works. We have yarn watch. Will work with Parcel, Webpack, Vite too. And the new one that I had last night is yarn host with Vite, which will trigger the host, which is an example here. I have a view app. I created a small Vite app here, really with the boilerplate stuff that comes from Vite. If you go to vite.js, and you go to get started, and then you say, how do I create a new Vite project? Then you just do npm create Vite latest, and then it will trigger some options there in your terminal, which will say, do you want TypeScript? Do you want to have unit tests with Vitest, stuff like that? And well, I just created a quick one here, which uses TypeScript. And of course, if you look at my assets.json file here, same thing. I'm just saying here is my source for my app, and the action is Vite. Don't need anything else because Vite has also its own configuration file here. So I'm defining basically the plugins that I need, which is Vue. Where do I want to build this stuff? Do I want to watch or not? That's a tricky one here, but I'll explain. So basically, if I'm doing yarn host, it will trigger my app here and host it with node.js so that I can debug it. And I'm making changes to my app.vue here, and I'm adding something like, well, let's go to the component because it's just a hello here. Edit, AZD. So the HTML at module reload component that Vite has will know that I made a change to the hello.vue file, and then you will see the change happening live. So it's really useful for when you're doing a self-hosted app, or you want to create a spa out of a page, or you're developing a new media library manager, like I was, well, the file app in Orchard Core, which I made standalone. So I was able to kind of debug everything with Vite here. If I'm doing bad stuff, Vite is strict. So if I'm doing bad code, it will show me the exception in that page too, here, exactly here. So yeah, this is really great for developers. And we have the same thing with Webpack 2. I could have used or configured Webpack 2 to do the same here. But the important part is that we can now debug our applications directly in our core. And the tricky part here is that you can add a watch here. If I'm uncommenting this line here, it will pick up. I'm doing yarn build -n and my view app. It will also watch. If I had saved my file, it would have started a watcher. So you see here, it's waiting for me to make a change. Let's revert what I did. Triggered the watcher. But you normally don't want to have this, so just an example that you can do it, but the app already, the asset management app already has a watch -n my view app, which is suited for doing this. And if I'm making changes back, then you see that it's reloaded. And I haven't needed to refresh that page. The hot module reloader just refresh that page for myself. So yeah.
Thank you. That's cool.
Still migrations to do, but it's getting close.
Okay, thanks. Any other questions, topics? So remember to fill up the form. UK June. Thank you. See you on Thursday. Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you.